Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
Abusia me mamo akwaba e de mobile PENDREAM TV so me pa choba pe bon modern say obe subscribe to the channel na pa like video no e de amaye na wa share video na ma foforo so ensa to me akabi wo adwenchire bia na wo de ato comment section no ase e de amaye. NPP for in fact maybe video be actual our Metro TV so good morning Metro TV good morning Ghana Randy Abbey and oda ano na sankrofo yankasa no menhye da nim adwen a ewo mutirim in terms of governance chese odwuno ho a wonte ase ya na obi sound say nkrofo yi do they really came to fix the problems of this country or they came to enjoy themselves? Diana e koso wo man mu ha enkrofo ka hwe a omuntie agisa ade no abeseye aginsam sa video ameba beba kire wo no eye 2023 video July last year July ton and Randy Abbey predicted say said ye tie bia no dumso no ebesan aba na yentumi nya ho hwe na Dr. Okuboy eti jumadi no so na no pa kasa na Randy Abbey ka che say abusua nya abotire o yeti krom ha na ye kan ye say baby o man ne kono man hwe ya mode ye beko IMF o ye be sa ko IMF back ye nko IMF ye nko IMF ye mbo nti se mahama nti ye nko IMF ye nko ne ye nko china na John Kuma ko gina Deputy Finance Minister John Kuma late John Kuma na wako gina parliament ye de ye nko parliament bia sorry ye nko IMF bia ye ntesamo ye nko ne ye nko china fa henko si hin Bawumia si ye nko IMF obia ayi finance minister ankasa kenufurata eba ya wose Ghana no akwati say Israel for kokina asase so na nipa yasoma se nkrofo bi nipa dumienu bi nko na omonko hwe se kina asase ho no etesen na ombetumi wana omba nipa mienu pe enetimi ka se hoye den ye na so tumi die betumi won tumi die betuon ne kai ten na kai ne de omusi entimi o omuka ba mu buo nsam na kire Israel for na bra Israel for tie nipa mienu no omoko di nkunim nti no yewo doomsayers bi o krom ha mo no epese ye kwa IMF but IMF no enya ade a ye hwe nyoma ye datutu in place a ye betumi akọ IMF da papa yi nanum asem o ka kire Ghana fo ni andi inahi ena Ghana mu penja Ghana hwi adekoto hwi baro mu ni pia dese edukosi IMF aboboa no se ye pamacho we de krampo de achaw pa no mo de ye de ekọ ye pamacho we de mo accept ye back enya mobo muntie sa video we warning na Randy Abbey edit warning crofo say dum so bo munya monhwe yi o na omanye asutia ene abewie baby adui na hwe omani wuo a omodi si TV no so yenko na yenko hwe emra sisem patcho anse na ebeko be so be like video no e de amai say be bitimi akọ akire ama afoforo so atumi anya bi ahwe subscribe to the channel na o hwe so a adwinchire bia wo bia na o de ato comment section no ase e de amai yenko de yenko hwe dwumadi no emra.
For me, I'll be one of the most comfortable persons in this country discussing the record of JMV, Dr. Bawumia. Very comfortable. Bawumia was part of the team that has stabilized the availability and supply of power. Before we came under JM, accessing power was a problem. Doc, but for about 3-4 years in this country, when NDC was in power, are viewers not aware that accessing power was a problem? Talk about power stability and availability. No. It was a problem.
No, I passed the comment because you said it was Dr. Bawumia who has come to stabilize.
So my point is that he is part of the team today.
That has done what?
Of course, that has put in place the structures to ensure that we are able to keep what's the word? To sustain all the entities that must be kept in check so that power is made available.
Yeah, but that's what you.
Muntie Hanum ye pa. As someone oko boy echere say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ekatima ya power mo at the time or kasa no last year mu nyina no ono eno that team a omo hwe a make sure say dum so no emma omo hwe atoto dum so no a light system system organ ha said the be ya dum so no emma no chiremu a ose from 2017 omu win election no Bawumia ene ka ho na adwen kire ne directions ne ho ade say even as at 2023 ya kwa no mo the glory say dum so na enya mai no mo hu glory nyina de ma Bawumia bisa hon say enne would they give the same offense saying credit no and I say failure no would they give it to Bawumia or afi do be Bawumia firim e duru anoma you see a problem na body be Bawumia firim time omonko IMF no na Bawumia dwen papa na dwen kire na dwen papa wo ni nyansa ni nimde awo de chain Mahama now Mahama competent nti wa bonti na mom Bawumia ne ni nyansa nti IMF ne enko time wa afi omani dwirigu fomo a table no e94 ni nyina kusi fomo a man no edayaya no table no dayaya no afi di yi Bawumia firim boko edna kusi digital mine mafias so krasefo de bi omu buyesi ya jimi sanse mu na de bia ya na Kevin Taylor kan bi mu ntiase no se o kan se de bia enkrofo think say ye moa ye jimifo ye nkrasefo nyom be kan kire bi ebeji adi papa bape ne de Bawumia be gina no Bawumia boni nya ba hwo no ma yi Bawumia firim Bawumia ne nya ho no nam yesei so ye kono enkotie.
That's what you inherited.
Oh, but Doc,
yes.
With all due respect.
Yeah, but that's what you inherited.
Oh, but Doc,
yes.
With all due respect.
Yes.
We didn't have stable power during the time of GM. They always said that at the time he was leaving, the lights were not off. But when he was in power,
yes,
for about 3 to 4 years, power availability was a problem.
What did you inherit? Did you inherit Doomso?
Oh, Doc, you see, my position.
Don't forget that you held a press conference, yes, in 2016 addressed by Mr. Boache Jaco,
yeah,
on this situation, and I can play back what your party said.
Look, one thing I'll mention which is basic is that our problems with power was not all technical. There was a lot of financial factors.
Yes.
If we are not kept the liquidity situation at a particular minimum level,
yes,
power will not be available.
Have you been following the liquidity situation as far as the power sector is concerned?
The crap is saying, I have a bottom line. My bottom line is that as we speak,
yes,
the availability of power under this administration is way better. No, that one we can leave it to viewers to judge.
No, it's not. Look, it's unfortunate that I have to go back and forth with you on this. But at least for the last 1 month, if there's one sector that we have discussed here with both parties and civil society, is the power sector.
Yeah, no.
The level of debt, the level of losses, the impact of this sector. In fact, if you read this World Bank report that led to our discussion, if you look at the IMF program, you will see it.
Look, I know. I'm not saying the sector is being...
Never has this country been engulfed in the kind of debt situation, financial mess that we have in the power sector. Never.
You see, the more you create problems for your government. Let's close.
They are bottom lines.
Things worse for yourself.
What I am happy about is that for factories, for most small businesses, the level of availability of power today is way better than what we saw at the GA.
You see, at what cost? You see, Doc, you see, and I am very worried about these positions. You know why I'm worried? That's exactly what led us to us going to the IMF and to do a debt restructure.
No.
Let me explain. No, I'll give you the time. Let me explain to you why. Anytime we kept making the point, despite everything, and I know it's one of your favorite lines, we are still paying this. We are still doing this. We are still doing that. What we never averted our minds to was that in saying we are still doing this, we are still keeping the lights on. At what cost?
Yes.
So all the things that we said we kept doing, we are still spending this on 3 SHS. We are still paying teacher training. We are still doing this. We are still doing that. The effect of we are still doing is what led us to the IMF.
Exactly. Yeah.
So same thing I'm telling you, when we keep saying that we're keeping the lights on, we're keeping the lights on, we're doing that at what cost?
Yes.
And when will it explode in our faces? Yes. And at that point, what is going to happen to us?
Look, I mean,
that for me is the issue.
Look, your point is well received. All I'm saying is that I'm happy about the fact that when all is said and done, I would prefer power being on with us being ready to discuss the challenges, to power not being stable and available, to us not discussing challenges.
And some who be see na those days no more car. NDC for a catch them say, look, free SHS na ye ka munya botre no. Munya botre na munsu anyansa. Talk to the stakeholders. Na omu nyina for madwen enkyere mo na munhunu se ade na mo person mo start no. Ebe collapse, ebe ba be ha nkwala no, ebe ba be ade no eye good but wan hihye ni yi a. Masa, ubetumi aye se wo si abrosan. Basa abrosan wan hunu nyansa so wadwene nyansa nim, onye smart person, onye smart contractor. No wan hunu nyansa am checki asase no. So okay, asase no solid ahondin wom. Okay, sa ahondin nimu a dia na metumi aye foundation no metu ni sen. Pillars do was pillars no kwa no ne size bend na was be hihye mu a ebetumi ama abrosan no atumi agina ne nan so a se me start se me isi abrosan na si foundation so ebetumi agina ama ade no emu from. So one who's a it doesn't matter how beautiful the abrosan is, it will collapse in your face even after you have done it and everybody is applauding you. Hey, abrosan there for dakro otu room na adie na odi millions of dollars eshebu na agu asay. Mahama mo tumufo monhwa ade na monye ne yie ye enti ne ye ba ya mpepere ye ho ankase ye starting boom ye started from day day students ye started free SHS with day students 2016 ye sign by ye borders 100,000 be ka ho kakra ye nyina no ye see schools adan ni bi sa community day schools no ye sibi ye bie infrastructures no ye sign training more teachers the begu system said ye be ya pressure bia meda system no so mobile mo see David ye die hia ya ne say die hia ya ne say enkwala egufie nyina ba school mu eni ne hia ye what we some hu tie ho no de tie asema meka no
about the fact that when all is said and done, I would prefer power being on with us being ready to discuss the challenges.
So saying that now I'll prefer power being on for us to discuss the challenges that associate itself with it. Because free SHS and we will prefer the children who are in their homes, who doesn't have money, whose parents can't afford paying school fees to come into the school. We will prefer that. We will do this. We will do that. Nkwala na odi omumra papa no ni ameni minister omo be hwe omo no omumra na ometena school ho. We will prefer that. Say challenges na ebe ba no ni ehun kwan ebe fa so solve thinking smart eni ho ni asesa nkwala ni nyina gum ni ede abegum ochina woto a kranyan na asai na ade na nka adwinpom nyansam ka mo nya abotre ehhehye ni yi a nka ade anunyam bebre oman no there be rash political power populist offense kind of agenda gidi no makoye na the problem yentie nsam abranu Abbey ebe ka kire no
to power not being stable and available and done. I would prefer power being on with us being ready to discuss the challenges, to power not being stable and available, to us not discussing challenges. So I am not against what you are saying. You obviously
what have you done to ensure availability of power?
Sammy,
is it generation or fuel or whatever?
You can't give me.
Just reaping from the investments of John Mahama. You've done nothing in the power.
You can't give me back my time. This gentleman has power. So let me Doc. So my point is that let's be interested. When I watched JJ and Mesa, it was obvious that they know more about the sector than me. Okay, but for the layman, Doc, for the man walking on the streets of Teshi at either Tribleu or at Brizan or First Junction or in Shona, all he's happy about that when he gets home and he's feeling quite hot after bathing, the fan can move. But if you tell him there are challenges with the cost, he will tell you try and deal with it. That's my position.
So it's the same thing. This same thing was what you kept telling them.
Yeah.
That despite all the challenges, you are still getting this.
Yeah.
We are still paying this. We are still paying that. Only for them to now realize that even they pensioners, you have driven them to a situation where even the money they rely on for their medication, they can't get. You are driven. No, I'm just telling you that.
Please,
Doc, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that. You see, I'm just saying that if you have a situation where we are not prepared to look at the repercussions of the actions of government and to just say that once something is happening, irrespective of the cost of that thing happening, and irrespective of the fact that when it blows up in a not too distant future, it will erode everything that we were supposed to have gained from it and make us worse off. Like we are suffering today. If you were a pensioner, bondholder, you will not appreciate all those things that happened to you 3, 4, 5 years ago because of the excruciating circumstances you find yourself in today.
Look, let me tell you something.
If you had bought even cocoa bills in February this year, and you were expecting maturity in August at 32-point-something%, and you have now been told that come and exchange it, and you only get 5% this year, and we will finish paying you what you earn in August by whatever, because of this same situation, you won't appreciate what I say. So, Dr. Akuba, what I'm telling you is that if you look at the indebtedness to the IPPs, what that thing means.
Over 1 billion.
If you look at the performance of ECG, what that means, and that even the cash waterfall for the last 2 months, the last time the report was made, what they paid was less than 20%.
Yeah, Doc.
If you understand the implications of what is happening in that sector,
Doc, all I'm saying,
you will not be talking
Doc,
the way
my
you're
position is not that speak about availability and go to sleep. So I am with you. But I want to make a point that the low availability or unstable availability of power had serious impact on industry. You know what I mean? It had, in fact, the performance of industry, including the mining sector, what made them suffer most was the availability of power, where they had to generate their own power. So all I'm saying is that, for me, having the power on is something that is very... And when I meet my...
If it goes past...
But, Sammy, let me make my point. I mean...
No, the point I'm making to you is that when it goes bust, when it goes bust, all what you are talking about will be eroded.
No, we will not, and as a government, although I'm not the Minister of I mean, the Honorable Minister of Energy will not be sitting down and making it go bust.
Like you said, you will never go to the IMF.
No, please.
Like you said, you will never go to the IMF.
But I wrote a lot. Look, so, and again, the same Dr. Bawumia that sometimes Sami wants to speak as if he doesn't know his left or right, was the one who analyzed John Mahamad's economic management and said that, looking at all the factors, he would end up at the IMF. In fact, initially he denied.
And did he analyze his own economic performance?
Mahamad told Bawumia he wouldn't go. Bawumia said, I've looked at all your figures. It's the safest place you arrive. And he was there. So
Mahamad said he won't go to IMF.
Initially when Vip made the comment that his government will go to IMF, he said it's not true. He didn't say yes, we are going to IMF.
So with him, with Dr. Bawumia at the helm, as the head of the economic management team, what happened to all those analyses that he had made.
Let me flow. I beg you. And he said,
Eti baby a edi dwumadie no ebesi ne some asama make. NPP for maso ya diama. Chese ahomaso ena ikum krofo wi o. Ahomaso ena minim. We have the men who can think. Men who are not smart, men who are not intelligent. We have the men. Enti awurawura mu tirimu amomo no omu fi se omo dwene a. Oma dwen da omu tirimu no. I don't know. Like I say omo ndwen. Enti ama oman we anase sa ban we. Na de bia obeye bia say ye papa o. Say ye din ade to me fefe benya gidi wom awrehye wu so ade we de beye ade we bibi eduru honom a panyan na ahwease na atofom da na asay adintra because beginning and cause of the thinking echo shame and making sure say problem e wo ho no yen fixing we ansa na ya start project there be omo ba ya foundation mamuntu munsi dan no ensi asase no so later na ade na ipega dan ni wi a nipa betena ma wi na afi yitutu form na the cement gugu concrete gugu ase ho se na ebe ya dan no ebe chama ye they prefer saying putting up an idea than thinking about how to make the idea, feasible, like sustainable. Omono adwin bi bo mutirimu a onipa broni ade bi ba ntirimu a ansa na ade no obekọ ho no ana obe start no omo pe team of researchers omo betena se thinking into the thing research even beyond their generation. To be about 50, 100 years to come. What are the problems that this thing, if you say good, no? What are the problems that can emerge from it? Then the team will come and tell them, okay, your problem saying, okay, in the next 30 years, or in the next 50 years, or 100 or 70 years, these are the problems that will emerge. So if these problems emerges in the next 70 years, what can we do to solve it? Or what can you even do today to be able to cure that problem now and I said to face that problem now? Then they plan it. Into omo kono adwen no nyansa nimdie no ewo hodada. To say problem be ombehia bia is be the citizens will not know the problem be, but there are problems. The problems that Americans are solving, the problems that the Europeans are solving on daily basis for their citizens, Say ebi ne ke yete krom ha ne ke ya ka nkanye se yete ha yi wi but because omon nananom edwene mo ne so ene omote ha no omo so odwene ama 50 years generation 100 years generation na ombeba but Africa, Ghana, yeah, kitty, especially Akufo-Addo name, we have the men of one. Omo bape, no thinking. Yeah, no. Boom, near started. Giddy. Within some few room na adiana ajia gunyansa bi anim train asem excuse. Oko Europe and na America. Na so omo be try train for the first time. Omo wo training ketewa bi etise phone we. Nketewa bi etise Uber car on train no etise Uber car ansa ne ye be try train no ye di kan emma sa train Uber train no Uber train no ye di kan mo no efa kwan no so kosi no asa fa kwan no so aba no abeka kire them so okay ye course on bibia da no because look enye bibi nkwa na betimi akoto efe ka nkwa na betimi akoto so ebetimi aban so obi budua o baabi ena dua no krampo anaso obi dua bi krampo si baabi mframa bo ena dua no abeto because why be real line no asio for a long time ti bibia betimi asi sabi na de no kwa fa so bibi kura mpo betimi ababi kura betimi asai babi kura betimi awe nareche a create problem bi a se mo anko check ya sa da no a mo ye test no mbuka ku encounter problem ti edi kan ma sa Uber train no e fa kwan no so a kusi e make sure se kwan no problem bi ani so ansa na kese na nkasa nyoma university ska o mu no abefa so there be akufu adone na aban ni akofa media for be momra media for momra ni a checho musika musika momra mbeko ba ne ye two plane ye two train for the first time Ghana you to train akufu ada ya di Bawumia ye Bawumia omo na ya ma train number ni dia kusiso shoo banyan ye o ma jomani so NDC for we nye Jimmy we NDC for and granted the process and NDC for and sanka wo yes ha proud offense checks na to make sure so obia NDC for entimi nkonko yes ade na nka sa ade le besi omo ya ade they don't think into it ya ni ewuram de dimirika ni de akoshim na ni abisi no na asi. That is the big problem these people have. Free SHS boom yenko IMF omo si yenko IMF no mo ya bonsanfo omo nya smart politician they are incompetent yenko ni akuduru ho ade bia nkrofo be kase yenyesi bia no ebe wi akiri ni yete ho ade ntra because nyansa ni nimdia ye de badwen no eni ho. President Mahama Samu Bekaya, a 2 year dear, me flag Ghana for stakeholders of the country, economists, I hold do I owe gurus, I owe krumha, no, the Omako baby, be a senchi, a fence and a Peduaso Lodge, no, the Omako show. Say, okay, let us think through. So, problem we at the end, you bit me, I have problems, Ben, you bit me like a bit media. How do we solve it? No, obi had not be to ho, obi had not be aba. Yenye say, higher the fire problem say nebaba, and Sana Mahama starting the project. And to start here, no offense saying challenge be any bit me appear about stopping. That is why Mahama was able to do a lot within 4 years. Amount for NTSA, amount for visa or a magician, and magician no. Nyansa eni ba ku fotirim. Oti ase nyansa eni ba ku fotirim. Enti ubiem na obia de na adwene ba. Bia de na adwene beto ho. Stakeholders a mo ade no nyina de o ma adwene beto ho a. Afa wo start here before sa de be start no o man problems ni nyina ohun solution nyina. Enti wo start here. There is no challenge a bit me about best stop work kwan. Oh say so am intergene that finance. Ane o say achievements as omuntimi nye bi because there was some challenges blah 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 blah. So now na the end nsehunu sa. Just within 4 years, look at the things Muhammad did for Ghanaians. Mpuntu nyuma kesia o mampini Muhammad man Ghana adwene ni nyansa ni nimde. We near friend say a visionary leader or dwene ko achiri enim di onim de na adwene mu do masa yakase obi a na adwene mu do anya obi a ono nkwa betima akoshe dem no I say okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, everybody should keep quiet. I'm going to do this. Anya na efe nyansa. A leader is who can solicit perfect, great, brilliant ideas from his followers and put those things into action so that the followers can benefit from those ideas. Look, we are leader. Just how now we nyansa chen ye nyina. There be we a leader. Nchira say nyina na say wona at this point ya you edwa be see ho say dwene like boy ni enyan ntime ndwene ni yenhwehwe papa yenhwehwe bibi papa ma oman no enti ye betumi ayi sabe jimifo ye betumi ayi sabe jimifo abase wono na ye president base jimifo no huni nyansa ehun say look menya nyansa ni I don't have knowledge in this sector areas enti what I'll do is that I'll consult people and make sure so bearding argument on board. I will allow everybody to bring on non so nim dear on board near fambu on mine now. Boom say wona wunnim nim dear bit my man say wunnim anything in health. Wouldn't mean anything about agriculture. You don't have anything about, like, you don't know anything about education. But because you have availed yourself or you have allowed yourself to be, advised, you are the best leader. No magician. From Crawford, will lead you because you won't Crawford. Be a munimiansa nim de chen and you be any expertise. What you say? E be a wo no we communicator and as a wo no we lawyer. Ye wanim difo no asuade afa health mu ebinu asuade afa agric mu ebinu asuade afa construction engineering ne ho ade adim enti sankrofo no sahana opeso ye bi mo a you bring all those people on board omo for ma adwen ne mra enya wo leader but ye nkrofo yi de da bi oto wanu ma na ye de aba free SHS ye be ye ubisa headmasters o meka so wan bisa ehwe wan frey o man chia meeting ya de tie o mo so mo ba ubisa Ghana education FNS service o mo so ya de they didn't consult us ubisa nagrat nat hwan for ubisa o mo so they were not consulted ubisa obia. So who did you consult? We consulted our cabinet ministers and then our party foot soldiers. Chama to me mun abronyam ne ka omo bomu e na omo kire nim de am kire de enye e na ka bomu ni I started. The ebeden e na yembenya dumso offense free SHS. As a free SHS na dumso. E dumso free SHS. We mu ba 3 months e betena fie. Na we ma ko skuma ko di 3 months we esi a omo ti hoyi omo so omo kwa ko di just 2 months pe omo betena fie 3 months o omo ko di 2 months pe na omo so aba fie na ebinum asan aba na omo na betena fie be se be 3 months bi dum so ati ase dum so free SHS ene ye team we yedi pia truck man yi we say for one country we the plan truck all because you people failed to think into it. You failed to plan. And them on there doom so and light doom so fence school SHS doom so I think BBR dollar doom so BBR doom so. Therefore, I PENDREAM TV. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and now I like video no edia man no like Bawumia video no ekwachi ma afoforo so etumi enya bi hwe na wabo money so be share video no so ama afoforo atumi anya bi ahwe mesrɛ pa na wo adwenkyere bi so a odi ato comment section no ase edi amaye na aboa ama jumadi ayi no ha no atumi akoso PENDREAM TV ɛno na de bia ye kan sɛ ye yedamu yopo
Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osiedem yopo.